Alright, man, I'm here. It's a Sunday sound off. This Sunday sound off and the next few Sunday sound offs is just strictly for black women. My previous Sunday sound offs, I've been, getting with and interviewing men in good positions. But today, I got a successful black woman, and I'm going to be interviewing some other successful black women along the way. But right now, I got one of my best friends, one of my cream team partners right here. We grew up from babies to now, to adults, Cosmo kids. Without further ado, it's Desrey King. But Des, just give people a little rundown about what it is you do, and and I'll tell them why pretty much I brought you on the show.
I guess the question should have probably been, what doesn't she do? But I am the owner of Desi Cakes Supplies and Events. I'm a full-service event planner. I do custom birthday outfits, adult desserts, vegan, gluten-free, pretty much a full-service bakery, amongst other things. I've recently ventured into a craft with a twist, so it's more ways to bring women together besides just painting, natural products, just educating as we go, just different stuff to do, pretty much.
Alright, so you jack of all trades. I know you're a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
I know you do a lot of different stuff. So, pretty much, what I really want you to do, help me motivate those women out there, some of those young girls, because in our area, especially Utica growing up, and the kids that you see growing up, there's not a lot of women figures out there showing them there's more that they can do besides maybe, things in the streets or latching on the wrong men, stuff like that. So just pretty much tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get to, from the ground up? Where'd you start from to get to baking and getting to cooking food and getting to all that stuff and the crafting? Where'd you start? Where did Desrey King start?
So, my mom, well-known chef, always did dinners, always good plates, well-known in the community. So I've always been cooking. I started baking about 8 years ago. It's just a hobby. My first cupcakes was terrible. Thought nobody would support it. You go through those things, nobody's gonna support me. Who am I to think I could start something? It's not gonna work. Just all the negatives. And it was rough because nobody wants to let you in. Nobody wants to help you out. Nobody wants to tell you how to do these things. So I had to do a lot of it on my own. And now looking back at it, I appreciate it a lot. I think that's what made me the person I am today, from having to do it on my own. So my goal going forward is to be able to help other young ladies, give them the answers that they need, So I started baking first, and then I started doing little small parties, decorations, balloon columns, things like that. And then it evolved to, now I mostly just bake. I do a lot of baking, I do a lot of classes, I make a lot of things, My motivation for it, I come from a long line of strong, powerful black women. So my thing was just growing up, I seen a lot of females dependent on men to do things for them, to, pay their bills, take care of them, and I just never wanted to be that. I never wanted somebody to be able to say, oh, you can't do this month, or I'm not paying this bill, or I'm not doing this because you won't do this. It wasn't going to happen. So I just always grinded it out myself. And over years, it was rough. I went through, people don't support you. The people you expect the most support, your friends, it doesn't always happen. Luckily I've been blessed and grateful to have a strong support system and, to have great friends like you guys. We bounce ideas off each other, open, honest opinions. So I've been lucky in that aspect. But as far as being accepted by the community, I want to say when I first started, it was more so oh, who does she think she is, and all this. And if you let that get to you, you'll never go nowhere. You just got to tune it out and just keep doing your own thing. I had to make a lot of sacrifices and missed many nights going out, and it was always, oh, you want to be a grandma, you want to do this? No, I had a goal, a plan, a purpose, and I stuck to it. I'm not exactly where I want to be right now, but I'm well on my way. So.
Okay. So, from all that, what could you say is your biggest obstacle to getting where you're trying to go? What's some of your biggest obstacles? Because a lot of people don't see. I like to point that out because when people are getting to a certain level of success, or they've gotten to a certain level of success, in the things that they're doing, nobody knows the waves. They don't know the ups and they don't know the downs. They only see the ups. They might see, oh, she's doing cakes. you know, they look nice, or, you know, she's doing business, you know, she look like she's pretty well off, driving a decent, nice car. Like, they see all this stuff, but they don't see the negative stuff. What's some of the downs that you're going through right now and in the past that helping you get to where you're going?
You know, a lot of people don't know, but even though I bake, I still work a full-time job. I still work a full-time job and another part-time job. You know, it's literally legit late nights, early mornings. You know, growing up in school, they don't teach you, like, make sure you take care of your credit, make sure you take care of these things, because those are important, you know? So that was the biggest struggle, like the funding behind it, the financial. When I first started baking, I was working at ACS. I was going to college full-time. I was trying to do it all and failing miserably. And I think it was at that point, I just was like, you know what, I'm racking up all these student loans. I'm barely going to class. I'm working myself to death. You know, I'm going to be a criminal justice major and I'm passionate about it, but I don't even want to be in that field. I was looking at more stuff for the dollar sign, the money it's going to make me. And I was absolutely miserable. You know, I've been blessed to have like amazing jobs from like the federal government to student loans, and I hated them all. I was putting all this time for somebody else and making decent money and being miserable and finding my most joy when I was home crafting or baking. So I just tell anybody, you know, college is nice. I'm not saying don't try it, but if that's not what you want to do, don't feel like you're pressured into going to college because that's what society says.
That's a major key right there.
There are people that make so much more money just from having a trade than a degree. I work student loans, so I'm not just saying it to say it. I've seen people who want to be doctors and lawyers and they can't pay their bills because even though you got this nice salary, you got these nice bills that go with this nice salary and this nice chunk of debt. And now it's going to take you a few years to be able to actually enjoy it. When you got somebody over here who might cut hair, who might bake cakes, who might make paintings, and they starting off slow, but eventually you'll get there. If you put in the work, you'll get there. But that's what it's about. Do what you love because you love it. Don't do it for the money. Anything you do for the money, you'll never succeed. You'll never make it.
And that's a major key right there. Because everybody wants to make money. You know, you get these good jobs, and like you said, myself too, I work full time too, and I own a business. But the money is not like the number one thing in your life.
No, it can't be.
It's about the happiness. The happiness. The money is great. If you make $1 million at a job, like there's CEOs in the company I work for, they make $1 million, but they might not be happy, and they might be spending a lot of time working as well.
Right.
But there's people out there that make millions of dollars just doing YouTube videos.
And it's something
And
they love.
it, and they actually love it. They actually love it. They got their time, they got freedom, you know. So it's all in what, you know, what you want. If you love your job, that's what you love to do. That's a different story.
Yeah. Everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not meant to grind it out. Some people are meant to be workers, and I say that in the most respectful way, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like to do, if you like a set schedule, if you want to follow direction from somebody else, go for it. Be the best at it. You know, that's my thing. And that's something with all my friends. It's always been, whatever you want to do, I'm going to support you. I don't care what it is. If you want to go sell water in the corner, we're going to go sell water in the corner. If that's what you're passionate about, you know, just saying. People are too judgmental. People are not supportive, especially women. That's the biggest thing with being a woman. Women don't like to support other women. And I hate to say it, especially minorities and women of color. They don't support each other. Us as women, you would think we'd come together more because we're always the underdog. We make less than guys make, you know, we're supposed to be quiet and not say much. And the biggest negative is other women, tearing down other women. So if I could do anything, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say it in front. You know me forever, so you know I've been through those stages, and it all happened. I'm not perfect. I don't consider myself a role model, you know, because I'm still growing, I'm still learning. I don't know it all. Nowhere near perfect. You just learn what you're gonna tolerate, what you're not gonna tolerate. And you pick a goal, you stick to it, you do it. Sometimes you gotta be your only fan, your number one fan, your biggest fan. You gotta do it for you. If you're doing it for clout and likes and for this person, it's never gonna work. You're gonna fail miserably. You gotta be real with yourself, follow your passion, and push forward no matter what. I've had support of 100 people before, and I've had support of nobody but just me before. But I still bake, I still create, and I'm still me. And that's what you gotta do. Stay true to yourself.
That's dropping them gems. That's just dropping them gems.
I'm just being real. Like, it's not hard, and especially this area being so small, and especially, like all these little girls that we got growing up, they looking up to rappers, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you be the best rapper you could be. But where does our future stand if nobody wants to have trades and nobody wants to be a nurse anymore or a doctor? What does the next generation do?
That's why we gotta have women like you be those role models. You say you're not a role model, but I think in the grand scheme of things, you are. You're older. You got nieces, nephews. You got people that unknowingly, until I started doing this, unknowingly, there's people that really look up to you, and they might not reach out to you until they're like, forget it. I'm gonna just reach out. Somebody may reach out to you, like, cause I'm having like your nephew. People reach out to you. They be like, they admire things you're doing, and you don't notice until that happens that people are watching you, that younger kids are watching you, you're influencing them. So it's good that you're baking, you're doing crafts. You don't even know who's watching you though. You don't even know, you have no idea.
No, you're right. You're right.
Social media, there's a young girl out there probably watching you, like, I want to bake too.
And if she is, I would love for her to get in contact with me, and I would show her and tell her and help her any way possible. This spring, I have plans on doing classes. I don't have kids myself, but I got 5 nephews. Kids, they want to bring cupcakes, they want to do all this stuff. I want to do more mommy and me classes. I want to help get those skills, because when the stuff you're buying in the grocery stores is not always healthy. You don't know what's in it. You don't know if it's been sitting. You just don't know. And now in this day and age, it's better to do it yourself. It's better to cook for yourself. It's better to bake for yourself. Anything you can do, and just to save that money too, and it helps bond. So I want to start offering those mommy and me classes and just teaching different skills, because they don't have home and careers in school anymore. That's not important to them, but it's actually very important. And
we have home and careers in school too. Yeah,
they don't do that.
Never heard of that in a long time.
That, credit classes, like, they need it all. Like, that's my goal, to be able to. I know I can't reach everybody, every little girl, even some grown woman. I hope I reach, because it's hard to start anything on your own, and we need help. You can't be scared to ask for help. My mom always said, a closed mouth does not get fed. If you want something, open your mouth and ask. And it's sad that in this day and age, everybody wants to keep it a secret. Help somebody out. It all comes back full circle. Help somebody out. Teach somebody. Educate somebody.
That's what the Sunday Sound Off is for. We giving out free game to the people. That's what it's all about.
We need it.
Yeah.
We gotta take our community back. We need it.
Yeah, that's big. Taking our community back is what I'm all about. You already know.
Right.
You already know what I'm about. So you work a full-time job. You've been through all of your ups and downs to get to, you got a clientele now. Where could you see yourself? Where could you see Des King in 10 years?
In 10 years?
Where could you see yourself and your brand in 10 years?
In 10 years, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'll be baking in 10 years. I want to more educate. I want to be the supplier. I won't even lie to you.
Oh, you want to plug? She want to be the plug.
The bacon plug. But seriously, just education, just helping other people out. Building my brand still, but just in a different way. Even with the event planning, I love it. I'm passionate about it. But even that, I want to take in a different direction. So that's the plan. I see online classes. I see a lot of workshops, things like that in the near future.
Big. That's big. That's big. So I'd like to thank Des for coming out. My peoples. I'd like to thank Des for coming on the Sunday Sound Off, man. This show, man, is just this segment right here is just all for the black women, especially in Utica, New York. This is just for the black women. We need more figures like this. We need more people like this in our community trying to, pave the way. And this is Des King. I'm at Blackshear. This is the Sunday Sound Off.